each time that I've actually been here and ridden this mountain. It's been with my dad.
Where are we?
We're in Bedouin, just on the outskirts, Provence, in France, the foot of Mont Ventoux. It's a beautiful location. Inspiring, also slightly frightening when you look up at that mountain. What I'm doing is a ride up Mont Ventoux. I've done it once, and I'm doing it again 3 times in the day. And this is just going a little bit stage further to ride up it 6 times in the day. It's a hell of a challenge. There's 3 ascents. The Bedouin, very famous because it's used in the Tour de France. Bedouin and Malacen are 21, so it is 26 kilometres. You've got to do each of those twice. I think that's about 85 miles of uphill riding. I'm trying to do the ride to raise funds for prostate cancer. Ready. People will recognise this, and hopefully they'll give funds to help raise awareness on this issue, and look for a cure. But let's certainly get men tested on this side of things. Get it out in the open. I've been doing bits and pieces to be ready for tomorrow and we do the ride, and I can't help but think there's a team behind me here to support me, but it's a long day for them as well. And so we've been preparing food for tomorrow, and it's like this food has got to be enough for everybody. It's not just me, because they've got a long day as well, and it's going to be fatiguing for them just as much as it is for me.
Doesn't look particularly appetising on camera.
You should try one. Try it.
I'll try one.
Yeah, it's good. Better than Nutella.
Which one did you have?
That one.
The jam?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
Biscoff one. Scrape that bit.
Yeah, especially because the last one,
Yeah, we play. But these are all the where we are in the process.
What made you want to do it?
I feel I've got a connection with this mountain. It's quite an emotional thing. When I was about 11, picked up a book which my dad had bought. God knows when I found it, and it was a biography of Tommy Simpson. And that's what got me into cycling. And if you know the history of Tommy Simpson, you know what happened there. It's only as you look and you appreciate things that have happened later on that you link it all together. And you see the impact that somebody has on you. And it's not necessarily Tommy Simpson in this case, it's involuntary in some ways. My dad had bought that book, and it just been there in one of the rooms in the house, and I'd pick it up as a young lad and read it. I've become inspired to ride a bike. And this mountain has been a part of that riding a bike for me ever since. Every ride I go on, I just love it. And so, you know, this venue here, this mountain, was the catalyst for all of that. Reading that book, the history of Simpson, and each time that I've actually been here and ridden this mountain, it's been with my dad. I first rode it with my dad. When I did this song de Mont Ventoux, the 3 times up in the day, my dad was here to the sport. And it's, well, you know, it's an emotional thing really. It's really something special for me.
I don't know about you lot, but I'm pumped.
A bientôt.
A bientôt.
On the route.
Bye. Oh, the lights are brilliant. "5:15 in the morning. Time to turn round and get going." It was just the darkness and the lights shining up across the road. And then as the sunrise came up, you could hear the birds, and it was very peaceful. I was just enjoying the peace and quiet. That darkness becoming light was quite a magical thing, with the sounds of the birds and everything else going on. And yeah, legs were fine. Chalet Renard, when it opens up, you can feel the wind, and the cloud cover is much more apparent then. Yeah, you could feel it then. That's when it started to get not unenjoyable, because I did enjoy it, but it became more challenging. Hello there.
Well done.
Ooh, that's tough in that wind. Right, let's have a little eat. I probably stopped a little bit too long at the top. Right, catch you later. There's one done. The cold had set in because of the wind that was blowing, and I was shivering. You couldn't see very far ahead, and I wouldn't like to have been in a car. I think I must have done a couple of K, and I was starting to get into more tree cover. It's the descent down to Malacen. I believe I was doing about 60 kph, and the bike went into a speed wobble. I was holding the bars and I knew my hands were shaking. If I'd hit the deck, that would have been the day over, really, I think, to be honest. It was actually tiring doing the descent. And I think that's just the controlling of the bike. As you would cut the apex of it, you'd feel the gusts of the wind and it would just blow you across the other side of the road. I was thinking it'd be 25 minutes to get down, and I think one of the descents took an hour. That's...
Slide that on.
That's right.
I was just shivering. I couldn't get warm. Sat in the car, I was still shivering.
The white bottle from the bike, please.
It was hard work to get going again.
See you in a bit.
Second ascent was a lot more difficult than I was expecting. I've ridden it before and I was really confident about that ascent. It's not as steep as bed one, so you think I'm on an easier ascent now, but it was hard because of the wind. There were times on that where it felt a little bit lonely, really. And I wasn't that I was alone, because I know the guys were there on the motorbike and that sort of stuff, but it was the effort. And I think it was because psychologically the cold must have got to me at that point, and I was feeling a bit tired and drained. Just pedal, keep going, and I wasn't thinking of anything more than that. My schedule's fallen apart a little bit by that point.
At least the weather's a bit better now.
What do you want?
I thought I'd swap the gloves over so I keep these ones drier. When it started breaking through, it was like, oh, fabulous, and it was slightly less gradient and it got a little bit easier to pedal and ride. It's like, oh, that's bliss. Stay like that all the way.
I know Jay said there's that kicker, but it seems a lot easier.
Yeah, my memory as well, so I'm quite looking forward to that. And Soat is easier still, but just longer. was no rest going down there. I was physically tired from that descent. That was probably the hardest descent because it was just like fighting with the bike, trying to keep it moving, and you know, the speed I was going at wasn't what I'd expect I would be able to ride at. I was having to work to keep going. You know what, I didn't really look at time because I already know I'm behind. Can't stop here any longer. And Jay, you'll remember that you took us through some exercises, some mobility work, and just getting going again. And you know, we all did that at the side of the road. It must have been quite a sight for everybody else around to see. But it, you know, did those and like, let's get going again. I was feeling all right in those early stages. It was okay. It was nice and sunny down at the bottom of the mountain. But as you get higher and higher, that changes. 10, 15k in, that's when it's starting to change. And you're getting back into what I've been experiencing beforehand. And the conditions were terrible, really, after Chalet Renard. That final bit from Chalet Renard, the last 6k, took an ages to get to the Simpson Memorial. I'd just passed somebody who was really struggling, the only other person I saw in that last 6k who was riding up, and I'd just passed them. It was probably about 500 metres past the Simpson Memorial, and I was feeling the wind gusting really strongly, and it was pushing me to the right hand side. The wind just went and blew me off the bike effectively, so I fell into the rocks at the side of the road, but there's another K to go to get to the top, and that was a mixture of walking and riding. It was just too difficult to ride. In that last couple of K, this isn't going to happen today, and I just knew that we hadn't got the time to do it. So I knew I was on my last ascent in that last couple of K. It's not just from Chalet Renard to here, which is difficult. It's difficult all the way. There's little bits on that ascent from Malus and Soaked, which is fabulous, and you can see I was flying along in certain parts.
Yeah.
But as soon as it starts to come out of the forest, the wind hits you, and I'm sure the wind changed direction as well, because it was against me going down, and I'm damn sure it was against me going up as well. So it was tough. That couple who were leaving from Soak the same time as me, they didn't even come up here.
No.
They turned round. Probably sensible.
Yeah.
But it's misting up even more now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's try and get down. Well, let's go down. And shall I ride to bed on itself? Well, by the time I get down there, hopefully it'll be better than it is here. So I'll finish in bed one.
Yeah.
And then come back to the.
Which is what this ride was going to be anyway, going down to
Mm.
Bed One.
Yeah. And then that is a song led in Mont Ventoux.
Yeah. And you've done it in absolutely killing conditions.
It almost jumps as if you've let people down because I didn't do it, and it's not the case at all, really. You know, I said I was going to do it 6 times for my dad, and I didn't think I was could get so emotional, but I think I've managed to hide it quite well over the years. But it was really hard. Just saying, I've got to stop. We can't keep doing this. But I was glad I called it and didn't have to be told, really, because it meant I've still got my wits about me, and you know, we live to ride again.
Oof, rather a champion. Thank you.
Still got the descent to do there. That was hard. I don't remember the first 6k very well. I knew I was taking it carefully. Speed was, you could have ridden faster on the flat. And we get to Chalarinard and got some of the gloves out there. I got there, tried to get warm. My little boy, he said, "Come here," because you could see my hands were blue in the cold. And it was difficult to brake, which was the other thing, because the hands were sort of freezing up really, and braking was getting harder and harder. Good on him. He lifted his shirt up, said, "Put your hands underneath." and it must have been like having an ice bath. But it wouldn't be. They weren't quite as blue, and then we carried on. My ambition has been to do the 6 times up, and I've done the 3 times again. And it's bizarre how that can feel disappointing, really, to be honest. When you consider the conditions as well, there's no reason to be disappointed, and I've sort of come to terms with that. But it does leave the situation that the 6 times up is still there, and it's not gone away. It's something I've wanted to do for a number of years now.
Oh, what a day. Horrendous. But what a great team, keeping me going. Thanks, guys.
Looks like I'm going to have to go back.